take this actual live. Can I get you to talk once?
Uh, red, green, blue, orange, purple,
All right. Looks like we're
teal.
going out live.
Okay.
So we'll turn that off. All right. Let's let's get into it, shall we?
hmm
I'm still not used to this new setup. This is only the second podcast since I changed my monitors around that, and I'm not used to it. So
You'll get there.
eventually, doesn't help that I had like it's been like 3 weeks since I did a podcast with you guys. So
It has been a little bit, but then
it
again, our
has.
lives have been nuts.
Yes, they have. But hey, let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to You Have to Watch This podcast. I'm Alan.
I'm Ryan.
And by the power of Grayskull, in honor of this week's reboot of Masters of the Universe, we took a look at the 1987 film Masters of the Universe, starring Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. So we'll be talking about that here shortly. But before we get into that, we like to talk about things that we've watched here in pop culture over the last week. In a segment we call "We Watch This," and funnily enough, Ryan and I, going back to the roots of this podcast, have both watched a thing. Where did it go? There we go. We both watched The Burrows on Netflix. I'm going to start off by saying I have watched one episode of The Burrows on Netflix. So this conversation is going to be very spoiler free for anything after the first episode. But Ryan, you submitted this to our conversation, so tell us a little bit about The Burrows.
Well, I need to clarify, and I figured I'd wait to do this live. I'm excited for this show. Kristen
Okay.
and I are going to start watching this show.
Okay.
I wanted to preemptively talk about this because I love
Okay.
the trailer.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So I will take this a different way a little bit. I did
Okay.
not see a trailer for this. I saw the
Yeah.
poster for it, and I was like, "Oh, I like him. Oh,
Yeah.
she's in this. Oh, he's in this. Okay, yeah. The Duffer Brothers. Okay, yeah, I'm in." Like,
Yeah.
so the show is Alfred Molina moves into a retirement community in the desert, and he's hesitant to move in there. There's a whole mystery to the whole thing. It's a very much Stranger Things in a retirement community.
Yeah.
But it's got Alfred Molina, Gina Davis, Alfred Woodward, Bill Pullman, Dennis O'Hare. There's such a great cast, and I was like, yes, I am in for all of these people. The first episode, if you like Stranger Things, you're gonna love this. Ryan, I watched the show and I'm like, Ryan's going to really enjoy this. So
Oh, yeah. And that's what the trailer showed. Like it was very like. First off, the trailer hit a bunch of different things for me. Case in point, two of them, two of those many things, is I like it when older actors embrace the fact that they're older actors and start playing into characters that are realistically their age. So I do like that aspect of this show, where like you've got a bunch of actors who are clearly in that age group, and they're like, this is happening to people our age. They're having to go into these retirement communities, assisted living facilities. Let's do something there,
yeah,
since we can do those characters, and then poke fun at it at the same time. So that's one of the two things that really gripped me. And the second thing is anything that has to remotely look like it's anything that looks like it has to do with aliens and conspiracies with aliens.
yeah,
I'm drawn in, especially when the visuals are there, and this has that. Like, this has all of that in the trailer. and the fact that it has all of those people in it to me is just a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I'm a very finicky person, and if I saw this trailer and it did not grip me, it wouldn't have mattered to me who was in it.
Ryan, you and I have been doing this podcast for over 10 years now. I am aware that you are a very finicky viewer of media.
Yeah.
But no, this was I saw this and I was like, oh, this Ryan's going to talk about this on the podcast. I guarantee it. So now our job is going to be convincing Devin to watch this, assuming it's good past the first episode. Watching the first episode, can highly recommend the show. All right. Other than that, I haven't really been watching much, but I think I talked about this last time I was on the show. I was planning on making a video game purchase, and I've been playing Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, the Lego Batman movie, or Lego Batman game that came out. And I'm still in like the first part of the game. So if it's going through the legacy of Batman films, we just finished the first act of Batman.
Okay.
So like Jack Napier fell in the acid. But there's some really cool callbacks to things outside of Batman. Like Ra's al Ghul, who's played by Liam Neeson in Batman Begins, he says, "I have a very particular set of skills." And then there's a whole bit with Bruce Wayne and a business card, a la the American Psycho with Christian Bale.
They do that scene with Bruce Wayne?
They do that scene with Bruce Wayne in Lego form.
Nice.
They do a little homage to it at least.
Yeah.
But it's like a great mismatch of everything Batman related, because like there's this whole montage after he falls into the acid where it's just the Danny Elfman Batman score playing, and you get to see like all these clips of here's Oswald Cobblepot running for mayor, here's Selena Kyle with the hello there sign, like a lot of Tim Burton stuff. But before that, like when you first meet the Penguin, like there's a whole chase scene through Gotham, and you make him crash his car, and then he's in it upside down, and then Lego Batman's just walking, and it's the Batman theme from the Matt Reeves Batman. And I'm like, okay, so they're just going to do musical cues from every Batman film. I cannot wait for them to actually put Kiss from a Rose in this game. Just so I can be like, hey, Devin.
At some point.
At some point.
I really hope they do.
I hope they do too. The fact that it's in so much of the marketing makes me think that they really did it. So, all right. Highly recommend that. Let's get into today's main topic. So if you're new here, you have to watch this podcast. Each week we make each other watch films one of us has never seen before. This week it was my pick, and my pick was Masters of the Universe, the 1987 film. But I kind of cheated because I'd never seen this. I was like, you know what? The new one's coming out. It's my pick. You know what? A little bit of SEO doesn't hurt the podcast. Let's try to get our audience up a little bit, because I'm trying to plan something here for next month when we're all in town together and can maybe do a 10-year celebration. So let's get our viewership up a little bit and watch Masters of the Universe. So I had never seen this film. I never really watched Masters of the Universe. The only Masters of the Universe I saw was the Kevin Smith one that came out a few years ago. Masters of the Universe Revelations. What was the Kevin Smith one? I had only seen the first season of that. Never watched the second season. But I wanted to talk about this movie, so that was my pick. Ryan, you're a child of the 80s. What is your history with Masters of the Universe?
So I am kind of a child of the 80s. So I was
you were born in the 80s.
I was born in the mid 80s. So like I was 5 in 1990. So like take that with a very big grain of salt. So I remember having He-Man toys, like action figures. I'm pretty sure they were picked up at garage sales. So I think I got like the first wave of like the first wave of He-Man action figures at garage sales. I think that's uh what I ended up having. Um, I saw a few of the cartoons on reruns here and there that I can faintly remember. But the last time I saw this movie was like 1991, 1992. It was before we moved to Pennsylvania. It was on like daytime TV at some point. So like I only remember maybe like two scenes from it. Um, uh, but I uh, but I was excited about the Kevin Smith uh, continuation. I did enjoy that. But other than that, like I think I had a Power Sword as a toy at one point. So like that's my experience with
Okay.
with like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, um and like this story in general. Like that's my background with it.
Okay. Um. All right. So let's. So you haven't seen this movie since the early '90s. How
Yes.
did it? How did it hold up for you?
It was painful. It was so painful but fun. Like I'll put it that way. Like this
Okay.
is purely like they definitely took their inspiration from the cartoon because where else were they going to get that inspiration from? So it definitely played like the cartoon or the episodes that I remember seeing. Um, and every time I saw Skeletor, I couldn't help but think of the Skeletor mask my dad had from when the hospital that he was working at had a float in the local town's parade, and he dressed up as Skeletor. So he bought like one of those really high end, like late '80s, like super latex like masks, and like it was Skeletor. So like I had that mask growing up. Um, and so like I couldn't help but like think of all the times I used to play with that thing whenever I'd see a Skeletor on screen. Um, but it just the reason why it was painful was because it was a low budget '80s fantasy movie. That's why it was painful. It was fun because it was also a low budget '80s fantasy movie. And the funny part was that when this movie ended, Tubi, the streaming service I watched this on, instantly rolled into Neverending Story.
Yeah. I love that you
So it
watch this
kind of worked
on.
out.
I love that you watch this on Tubi, where I watched it on Amazon. So I still had commercials, but it didn't automatically go into that.
Yeah.
But I just love that you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just watch this on a free service that I don't even pay for.
Yeah, that
Um,
with all the services that Kristen and I pay for, I go for Tubi a lot.
ha- Having not been a big fan of Masters of the Universe and just watching this for this,
hmm
um, it was a hard watch. But I also looked
Yeah.
at it through the lens of what is my equivalent of this movie from
Yeah.
my childhood, and
hmm
the obvious choice is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Like
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure they used the same molds for Skeletor that they did for Ivan Ooze. Like you can't convince me that those aren't the same masks. Um, but um, yeah, it was definitely a interesting watch.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find a list of films here. It definitely fits that the canon films type because they were known for doing very low budget films,
Oh
and you
yeah.
can tell that this is very low budget, but also like kind of not low budget for the '80s. Like they put some work into it. They cut
Oh no,
corners,
they
but
definitely put work into it, and yeah, they definitely that's yeah. Especially with the blaster scenes with the with like I for a second I was like, wow, like they really took inspiration from like the first Star Wars, because that's like I thought that's like the level of tech that they had, but then I realized, hang on a second, this is from 87.
Yeah.
This was after Return of the Jedi. Like they had better effects abilities than what they're showing in this.
This is the same studio that made. I should have put it up behind me. I was like, I don't have any posters for Canon films. I do. I have a Superman 4: The Quest for Peace poster. Like, I should have put that up behind me
Oh,
because they
okay,
did
so
that.
this is something I wanted to bring up. The score in this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the cartoon or anything along those lines well enough to be like, "Hey, that's the theme from the cartoon." So if there were any notes or if it was the same thing, I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you what I thought was when I was listening to the score of this, I was thinking Superman. Like there were collections of notes where I was like, if I wasn't paying attention and I was like flipping through the TV or like going through some live channels on a streaming service and I saw the beginning scroll or like the opening credits on this, I would have kept on going. So I'm like, oh man, this might be Superman 3. I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna...
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit Superman. Um, it's kind of. I don't think it's this. Wait, was it the same composer? Because if it was the same composer as Superman 4, I have a theory. But did you ever listen to the scores for Attack of the Clones and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah, they're all kind of...
There's a segment
Yeah.
in one of the pieces that is verbatim the same. Because John Williams is like, copy paste. I'm a busy old man. Let
Yeah.
me just let me get away with it. And he's John Williams, so he's allowed to. All right, so the composer was Bill Conti. Wait, Bill Conti from Rocky did the music for this? Interesting. Yeah. So I have a question for you, Ryan, because you're more familiar
Yeah.
with He-Man lore than I am.
Okay.
In the cartoon, was there ever a storyline where He-Man travels to Earth from Eternia?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But it was inferred that the He-Man universe, like, was kind of going on at the same time. Like,
As
same
ours?
time, different universe type deal, different reality, but like same time. So like this doesn't seem too far-fetched. But the whole
Okay.
like coming to Earth thing isn't like completely out of the realm of like
Okay.
possibility.
Because what it reminded me of, it was Sonic the Hedgehog. Because it's the same plot of that. Like, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't my universe. I don't know where I am. I need to get home. It's the same plot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wonder if studios, because from what I can tell, the new Masters of the Universe does the same thing where He-Man is on Earth. Or at least in this one, the new one, I believe he is called Prince Adam. Like, they actually do,
Yeah.
like... I wonder if there's just too much lore that scared the studio. Like, oh, we can't just set it all on this fantasy world.
Mhm.
We need to be able to
Well-
we need to be able to get Courtney Cox in there. Like,
Which I'll talk about her later. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, and what I find funny is that you've got a cartoon that was like made to sell toys. I mean, there's a little bit more than that, but that's pretty much part of it. All of these cartoons throughout my entire childhood was just to sell toys. And even though of that, and like there was still enough lore that was created in the show that even like a major Hollywood studio was like, yeah, we need to simplify this. We can't be,
yeah.
like messing with with like 2/3 of the crap that they've invented for this storyline. We need to really boil this down to like just like good versus evil. We need to get the heroes back home so that they can win the day. Like we'll just keep it to that. Like no Prince Adam, no tiger, no horse tiger thing. No.
Yeah, no Battle Cat, no Orko,
Yeah. So
no Shira. Like
no. What what you get is a commando, and another commando that is wearing and I've got to point this out because I thought it was the silliest. It is so 80s, and it's a kids movie, but it's the 80s, and I couldn't help but see it, and I need to talk about this because it is an absolutely ridiculous costume design. So on what's her name? The other like commando that's with
Tila.
He-Man. Hmm.
Tila.
Tila? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Tila. Okay, so Tila, yeah, Tila. She's wearing a gray spandex bodysuit with a bunch of like armor pieces, a belt, and like holsters on her like thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have put on maybe a pair of shorts. They could have done anything, but no. They, over the spandex gray bodysuit, they have her wear a leather strap in the shape of a thong.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like it is pure 80s. Like this is what they did to like woman female characters with their costumes. They probably saw what she was wearing in the cartoon, how her action figure looked like, and they're like, okay, we need to kind of stick with this a little bit. They didn't have to stick with everything.
No.
They could have just like they could have done anything else.
There was
like,
one
it served
point.
no purpose.
There was one point where I was like, "Is she wearing pants?" Like
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. So yeah, it's her. At least you could tell Man at Arms was wearing pants. Like, just be thankful they didn't bring Fisto into this because who knows what he would have been wearing. Yeah, and then like Dolph Lundgren, like I can see why he was cast. Wasn't for his acting. He looks the part.
No. Yeah.
Doing some research on this, I think I knew this beforehand too. Like they were planning on redubbing his voice, but he was adamant that he'd do the lines. And he did them. He didn't. It wasn't the best, but it was better than Khal Drogo. Or who do you play in Rocky? Not Khal Drogo. That's Game of Thrones.
The Russian dude. I
think it's Drogo. It's something Drogo.
Okay.
Ivan. Yeah.
Ivan Ooze. Oh,
yes.
No, sorry,
yeah.
different Ivan. Different Ivan.
Yeah, the Earth bit. Like I don't know why. I get why, but it's like that's not what I want from this. Like if you're gonna lean into He-Man, lean into He-Man. Like give it. If we're gonna get the story of the all the mythology of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like you can do it for He-Man because I feel like there's even more there for He-Man than there is for TMNT.
So, I think part of the problem is that because of the fantasy nature of He-Man, like loincloth, swords, bare chests, the way that the women are dressed, it would be very difficult, especially in the 80s, even in the late 80s, to do a He-Man movie all in or on Eternia and have it not look like the first 20 minutes of this movie for an hour and a half.
I guess that's fair.
And bringing it to Earth kind of does the whole thing of like, especially in the 80s and in the early 90s, there was a big thing about like having the characters you see on the TV coming into your real world. I mean, that's kind of like what last what they did in Last Action Hero
Hmm.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The reason why that movie worked and works for people in our age group is because of movies like Master of the Universe and other films where, hey, you know these fantasy creatures you watch and you know you see every Saturday morning, or you know on the seeing the reruns before school, like they're not on their like weird planet that thousands of light years away. They're on Earth now,
Yeah.
and like that's where it's kind of the, like that Last Action Hero was pulling from that.
Okay.
But a lot of movies did stuff like this.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Okay. Yeah, I can give you that. What is the best example of that? Like outside of Last Action Hero, because that's kind of making fun of it.
That's like in your face completely.
What is the best example of that? Yogi Bear.
So I wouldn't say Yogi Bear. I would say scary stories to tell. No, not scary stories to tell in the dark. Man, now that I said that, the actual name of the show went right out of my head. Not Goosebumps, the show that inspired Goosebumps.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? There was a Are You Afraid of the Dark episode where this like mystery dude shows up at this theater and like wants them to like show a film that the films that he makes at like night, and like if they don't follow through on what he wants, like he curses the movie theater, or the film that he has there starts haunting it. I forget exactly what the like switch is that causes everything to turn on, but the monster from the one film comes to life and starts haunting the movie theater and the kids
Okay.
in the theater. That's my favorite adaptation of that.
Just doing a
But yeah.
quick. I guess Barbie would be one. I guess that would.
Yeah, I mean Barbie is the same thing. Like, yeah,
that'd be the best one of them all. But Enchanted also is like a kind of a parody to that. But I think that one's pretty solid too.
Yeah. It was all I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure younger Gen X, the same thing with like elder millennials being in the 80s and early 90s watching these shows, and some of the shows even in the late 70s, like wanting to either be sucked into the show and live in that world, or have them come out of the show and live in ours. And I feel like that's kind of a general thing amongst people who have been fans of any shows, watching as a kid growing up. And I'm sure even before that, with where books were more prevalent than TV, where there were kids that wanted the characters from their books to come to life, in the same process of kids watching TV shows. But I feel like with the medium that we have now, it's easier for now as adults us to create these shows of those fantasies actually happening.
Yeah. So I was curious about Gildor, the key maker,
Yeah,
because he's an original character for this, and I was like, I wonder if he showed up in anything else. He shows up in the second season of the Kevin Smith thing.
Okay.
So you know what I'm watching after we do this?
The second season.
Season of the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe. Is there anything from this movie that you want them to keep on the same level for the new one?
As much as it pains to watch, I love the corniness of it. Just Skeletor's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like like they didn't really show it to its full potential, and they kind of showed it a little bit in the movie, and I do want more of it. Like, Skeletor is a whiny little brat. That's who he is. That's what I want.
I mean that
Yeah.
explains the casting of who they put in the new one. So
Yeah. Like, um there's memes now of like Skeletor, people using the Skeletor voice, or using the scene of him talking and saying something absolutely unhinged, and then him like running away, like, yeah. And but even before then, in like the early-ish internet era, back when the dubbed X-Men thing was popular online, before
mm-hmm.
that was like wiped off the face of the earth because of licensing rights.
Yeah,
There people did something similar, but with Skeletor scenes, and like people who could accurately do the voice from the cartoon would have him play like the most ridiculously unhinged, um like flamboyant version of himself, and just being absolutely just like,
yeah.
just completely unhinged. And that's like, like in like in the Transformers cartoons, you had Megatron and Starscream, and like Starscream was like always on Megatron, like always being just a pain in his neck,
Yeah.
like that annoyance, like that's Skeletor. Like, that's to himself.
I will say this, regardless of who they have playing Skeletor in the new one, he looks much better in
Yeah.
the new one than he does
Oh. Yeah.
in the one we watched.
Oh. Sorry. Um, in this one, at 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 the beginning, when Skeletor was talking to the sorceress inside Castle Grayskull,
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to be getting agitated or like hyped up, and like you can tell that the costume department made a mistake and didn't put any type of like air holes in the nose, because you could see the mask inflate around the nose when he was breathing out, because his
Yeah,
mouth was shut, and you could just see the whole mask puff out and come back in, and puff out and come back in. It was great.
yeah. Um, Idris Elba is Duncan in the new one. I'm
Okay.
excited. I the new one I'm not gonna go see in theaters, but if it's at the drive-ins or something else I want to go see, I'll see this.
Yeah.
It
Well,
looks
it's
ridiculous, and I'm here for it.
well, that's what it needs to be. Anything that's Masters of the Universe and He-Man, like, it needs to carry the exact energy that is portrayed on the side of like a Chevy Astro van that has like a fantasy mural painted on the. You don't see them anymore, but like like every major town at least had one or two guys that would drive around and basically had like Molly Hatchet album covers, like, like airbrushed on the side of like Chevy Astro vans, where they had like
Mm-hmm.
the weird funky like window in like the upper corner that was like a starburst or a circle. Like, that's the energy these movies need, because other than that, it won't work. Like, it'll
Yeah.
just be this weird movie with a bunch of guys in loincloths.
And for some reason, Tom Paris. Like,
It, yeah.
it took me until halfway through the movie to figure out where I knew him from. I was like, oh my god, that's Tom Paris. Um,
Oh, yeah.
I was more
Um,
caught off by that than I was Courtney Cox. Because I also did not know
yeah,
Courtney Cox was in this until I hit play.
yeah, no, I didn't either, and it took me the entirety of her first scene to be like, yeah, that's Courtney Cox. And it was when she put on her jacket and then walked through the swing doors between the kitchen and the like in the front counter at like the restaurant she was working at. And then that's when I realized that like she's Monica in this. She's a young Monica in this.
Yeah.
Like facial expressions, body language, everything.
Yeah.
That's her. It's her.
How do you feel about the ending with her character? So the film ends. Spoilers for the 1987 Masters of the Universe. This spoiler has nothing to do with He-Man, though. They send them back to Earth. But they send them back in time as well.
Yeah, so I missed how far back in time it was. Was it like a year?
It was about a year to the day
Okay.
of her parents' plane crash.
Okay, so a year to the day. So, which means she has to go through senior year again. Okay, so, yeah. Maybe she might get better grades this time. I was kind of expecting that. Like, these movies, it's the 80s. No one, like, only Disney was brave enough to kill off parents and keep them dead. Everyone else was afraid of that.
See, for me, just the implications of the space-time continuum then. Like, I want to know what happened. Like, I just feel like this universe just dissolves because of that decision. Like, I feel like everything gets eaten up by a wormhole because they broke space and time, and then Tom Paris is like, hey, I know who wins the Super Bowl. I'm going to place this bet. And, like, just the Back to the Future 2 alternate timeline of it all is like...
There's also so here's why I don't really get dragged into the whole, like, time travel thing with, like, movies, is that every movie, every writer has their own interpretation of how time travel works. So unless you have, like, a Doc Brown moment where he explains how time travel works and, like, in that movie, or how in Marvel, how they had how explaining how time travel worked in there, I just go with, oh, cool, they changed it. Everyone lives happy ever after.
Here's the problem I have with it. Like, they don't really establish it. The key thing can time travel.
They do.
They do? Okay, I missed that.
Yes. So the Keymaster, or the Key Troll. Forget his name. Anyway, Key Troll. I like that better. He says to them before then, he's like, hey, I can take you back. I can take you back in time. I can take you to the future, whichever you want.
Okay.
And then Paris was like, hey, no, we just want to go home. Like, we want to go back to our time. And I guess the troll knew about her parents. I mean, there had to have been either a cut scene or a off script moment in the storyline where everyone looks at Courtney Cox's character and goes, your mom is dead. Why did you think your dead mom wanted the key in a back alley? Like, it was those moments like that. Like, that's how they must have known about it. But, like, she stole her dad's plane key and just ran out of the house. Like, she couldn't just, like, throw a fit and just be like, no, I don't want you guys, like, don't go. Like, just like, really be adamant the whole time. And then at the very last moment, if you need to, like, steal the key. Not do that first thing in the morning. Because, like, the parents are like, our daughter went to bed completely normal, and then she's just up and ranting about us not wanting to go, and this and that, and then she stole the keys, and
now her boyfriend has a sports gambling problem. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
The other thing that made me want to do this is that the actor James Tolkien, who plays the detective in this, he passed away a few months ago, and I didn't know he was in this. He's one of my favorite. I just love at the end of this. He's like, I'm retiring. Like, this, I don't need to go back. Like, I'm good here. I got a woman. I got a castle. Like, What
Yeah.
else do I need? Like, I'm happy.
which 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 really means he had absolutely nothing going for him on Earth.
Yeah.
Absolutely, not even a dog. Not even a
Nope.
dog.
He was all alone.
Uh,
I don't really have much else to say about this.
yeah, no, I,
I
I just have two moments.
Okay.
Uh,
You give us your
one,
moments, and I'll give you a little
okay,
bit of film history about this.
okay. So one is the moment you just talked about with him going like, it's like I've got a beautiful woman, I've got a castle, I don't need to go back, I'm gonna retire here. I feel like that is the like older like adults sitting with their kids watching the He-Man show. I could see that being a like 30, 40-year-old man's opinion of the He-Man universe at that time. Of like, look, all these guys own like castles galore, the women are beautiful, I could live there. And I feel like that's one of the writers getting in that joke for like dads at the time. Um and then the other part was when they introduce the 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 key troll. He's screaming for help. Like he's obviously screaming for help. Teal,
Tila.
the Tila, she grabs her gun. She grabs her like her weapon, and she goes to literally kill him. And He-Man has to stop her. Go, no, 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 no. He's asking for help. And I'm thinking to myself, like, she just heard noise and was going to shoot. She wasn't going to jack.
Nope.
It's like she was in like just hardcore tunnel vision. I'm going to kill anything that moves. Like,
Yes. So a little bit of film history about this one. Canon Films that produced this had planned on and had released a trailer and advertisements for a bigger film, and then decided to hold off on making that film and split the profits from this movie and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace to make said big budget film. Do you know what that big budget film was going to be?
no, I don't.
Originally, in the 1980s, they were going to have James Cameron direct a Spider-Man film for Canon.
Oh, okay.
So the plan was, instead of making a Spider-Man film, we're going to wait, make a He-Man movie and a fourth Superman movie, because those are both going to make money in 1987. Take all the profits we get from that and then put all that money into the Spider-Man movie. Both those movies bombed. And we got no Spider-Man movie in the 80s.
And let's say Masters of the Universe. Let's say we lived in Bizarro world. Superman: The Crest of Peace became the best Superman movie made up to that point. Critics loved it, audiences loved it. Obviously, it's not the same movie because of this, but like it made the most money out of all of them up until that point. Yeah. Masters of the Universe came out, smash hit. It is considered to this point to be one of the best fantasy movies of the genre ever made. Okay? And Courtney Cox is like a A-list triple platinum actress who's, way larger career than what she had. Even in that scenario, I don't see a Spider-Man movie working in the late 80s.
No.
I just do not.
No. Because these movies barely worked in the late 80s. Yeah.
Oh, man, they had some real winners. I'm looking at their some of the movies that they've released. Quest for Peace, Invasion USA, ugh. Death Warrant. There's a movie. Yeah,
Go ahead.
There's a real specific there's a real specific group of movie watchers that Canon gears towards, and that's it.
Yep. Last thing I will say is Courtney Cox and Christina Pickles, who plays Sorceress in this film, were also in another project together. Do you know what that was?
No.
Friends. The Sorceress is Monica Geller's mother on Friends.
Oh God.
So, yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, I think that does it for this week's episode. Join us next week where Devin will make us watch a film. I'm not sure what that film is going to be, but you can find out if you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can listen to watch all of our podcasts and listen to our podcast on our podcast feed, which I will be updating this week. Now that I'm off for the summer, I have time to update the feed. So I think what we're going to do is all new episodes from this point on. We're just going to post those, and then we'll have a backlog that is YouTube exclusive because I don't have the time or the energy to put them all out. So
that is fine. That is completely understandable
yes.
and okay.
Yes. And in the meantime, for You Have to Watch This Podcast, I'm Alan.
And I'm Ryan.
And by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. See you next week.